All right, good afternoon, Locust Grove Lions. Mr. Moore.
Mr. Collins coming at you live with our 2019 March Book Madness. Mr. Moore, tell them about it.
Oh my goodness, Lions. This is absolutely one of my most favorite times of the year. This is the time where we put authors and books head to head in a March Madness competition.
I can't wait to see the matchups this year. Mr. Moore, give us the breakdown. Who, what, when, where, and how.
Okay, so this is how this is going to work. Just like last year, Mr. Collins and I are going to do a preview of all the shows. You guys are going to see this in your classrooms, all right? And then the voting is going to commence. You're going to have a couple of days. The first day of voting is going to take place on March 20th is going to be your first day of voting. You can vote at home, you can vote at school, and you can select the first 8 winners. And there's going to be 16 books total. Then we go on 2 days later, have the second round of voting on March 22nd, another round of voting on March 26th, and then we have the championship matchup that's going to come to you on March 28th. And then at our assembly on March 29th, we're going to find out, Mr. Collins, which of these books is the favorite read of our Locust Grove community.
That's so exciting. Mr. Moore, what happens if I fill out a perfect bracket?
What happens if you fill out a perfect bracket? Well, last year, I would have said it was impossible. But last year, believe it or not, we had a Lion that had a perfect bracket. And in the event that you can guess every single winner, you will win 200 points for your house. And we know we've got a lot of avid readers in the House of Hercules, so I'm expecting that.
I can't wait for Hatteras to have a perfect bracket. Mr. Moore, without further ado, let's get rolling.
Okay. All right. So guys, we're going to start talking about the books, give you a quick little insight into how we think they're going to do. So the first book that we have is called The Lion's Share by Matthew McElligott. This is going to be narrated by our very own Jennifer Young, a 5th grade teacher. I'm just partial to books about lions.
I mean, I can't blame you. It is our mascot after all.
They are leaders. They are meant to do amazing things. Going to be tough to topple, The Lion's Share.
Miss Young's going to do an incredible job reading, I'm sure. Now, let's get a little noise from our crowd. So our second book up for reveal is called Douglas, You're a Genius, and it's going to be taken on Miss Young. It's going to be read by the one, the only Miss Allison Dawson, second to none, absolutely wonderful reader. So I'm really excited to see what kind of effort she puts out this year with the 2019 March Book Madness Challenge.
And this is by an author named Jed Adamson. It's his first time, in the book challenge, but he's really been coming on strong in the last several years, producing a lot of good text. I would suggest you look him up in the library and perhaps check out a text or two by Mr. Jed Adamson. All right, next. If any of you guys like walking a dog? Yeah. Well, I'm not sure whether or not this book's about walking your dog or not, but that's what's on the front. This is called Come With Me, and it is by Holly McGee. All right. You guys might know her as Miss Cindy. She also goes by Miss Dillard. Works in our cafeteria, helps serve you all lunch each and every day of the week. Very good job reading. I think she brought the characters in that text to life, and I think you guys are going to be really excited by how she delivers this text. Come With Me. Look for it, guys. It's going to be a strong
I can't wait to watch her rendition of Come With Me. Next up, we have, drum roll please, Polly Pastrami Achieves World Peace. Now this book really pulls on my heartstrings as someone that wants to see all of our lions go out and make a difference in the world. And this book is written by James Proymus and narrated by first-year teacher, Mr. Nathan Meadows. I think he's going to do a wonderful job. I know a lot of our crowd members are excited. I see you over there dancing, girl. I see you. Come on, do that. Oh, she's hiding now, but she's excited. I can't wait to hear it. All right, Mr. Moore.
World Peace, this is Habit 8. And I think this Polly Pastrami character, if they can figure out that trick, then I'm really excited. Now, moving on to our next text. Our very own Melissa Greneau out of the 1st grade team.
Shout out, Miss Greneau.
By Dan Santak. And this book is called After the Fall. What fell? I've got no clue. But you know what? We're going to find out after the fall. Miss Renault's going to bring this text to life. I'm thinking it has to do with some jolly egg character that we might have seen in some fables and previous, a little bit of folklore.
You may have cracked the code, Mr. Moore.
I may have cracked the code.
All right.
Nice gander there.
You like that?
I do.
All right, next up, we have a book that I'm sure a lot of our students can relate to. King of the Playground. Now, this book is written by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. I'm really excited to see what she does with the characters here. Miss Street is going to read this book. Miss Street, I'm sure, has put together a wonderful reading of this book. I'm really excited to see what kind of engagement she gathers. Guys, make sure you get on and vote on our website. Read those books at home. Make sure that you're voting on March the 20th for our first round. I want to see Miss Street make it to the next round. All right, who do we have up next?
The next text, to be quite honest, I'm really excited, guys. Of the 16 texts in here, we only had one author that is making a repeat appearance. If you guys remember Peter Reynolds in the book Ish, raise your hand if you know that author. I voted for Ish last year, thought it was going to make a deep run. Peter Reynolds did not disappoint. And this year, Peter Reynolds is coming back in the tournament with The Dot. Not sure if you've read The Dot, but my goodness, it's a whole lot better than Ish. Just my personal opinion. He went and outdid himself.
You know, he's really second to none, and he just puts out, every year, he puts out a great effort after a great effort after a great effort, and it's really impressive, the kind of dynasty this guy's put together. I'm really excited.
Yeah, this isn't a Cinderella story. This is a legit contender, guys. Read by none other than our counselor, Miss Angie Anderson. So I'm really excited to see what she does with the text. So, yeah.
All right, next up, not knives, not forks, not spoons, but chopsticks. Chopsticks is the next book that we have coming up, coming to you, written by Amy Krauss Rosenthal, and I'm hearing from sources. Yeah, this book was read by Nurse Julie, and she did a phenomenal job. She really went the extra mile and developed those characters, so I'm excited to hear what you guys think about her book. So, make sure that you get on and vote for Chopsticks.
All right. Mr. Collins, before we get over to the set, we've got a really tough-looking bracket on this side. Who would you predict as your person to make it to the big game out of this side? Who are you thinking?
Well, we're seeing a good tough matchup out of the lion's share, and I really like the After the Fall. I'm also really partial to any Peter Reynolds book. And it was read by Miss Annis. I'm going to go with The Dot. I'm taking The Dot all the way through the Final Four, and I'm taking it to the big game. Who do you have, Mr. Moore?
You know, this year we have been about finding our voice, serving others here in our community and the world. And I can't imagine, I think if he were actually a living, breathing person, Pauly Pastrami would be a Locust Road line. So I'm going to go with Pauly Pastrami.
Pauly Pastrami getting the nod.
Pauly Pastrami. I think Mr. Meadows, first year, I think he's really just going to breathe some fresh breath into that. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to see what happens.
All right.
Next up, we have a book, and I'm really partial to this guy because he's one of my bus drivers. He's a fan favorite, definitely in the school. Mr. Grover Gotcha himself, Mr. Bob Beckwith, reading the book Courage. And that book is written by Bernard Waber. Now, Courage is a tale about a boy that's going to do something that's really big, and he's going to take a chance, and he's going to take a leap. But you're going to have to read more to find out how it happens. All right, who do we have next?
That is exciting. Next, and this is honestly going to be really tough to take down. This is the text. We're all wonders. Now, there has been a major motion picture after this book, and the character in this book talks a whole lot about how amazing people are. And our very own Miss Allen is reading this book. I believe it's near and dear to her heart. Guys, I think you're going to be touched, and I think you're going to be inspired by this character that's in this book. But I don't want you to just go off of watching a movie, because anybody that's ever watched a movie and read the book knows the book is hands down better. So I really hope that you guys get into this book and really see this character come to life. Real excited about this text.
All right, next up, we have a kindergarten favorite read in this book. This is going to be brought to you by Miss Madeline Uther, and the book is called Penguin Problems. Now, this is a Jory John written book, but it was illustrated by Lane Smith, and I'm really excited to see what he did with the characters. This is a really interesting illustrator in the way that they shape the characters and bring them to life, and so I'm really excited to see. And I'm also curious to see how Miss Uther, a theater major back in her time, brings these characters to life. I know she's going to read with a lot of expression and a lot of excitement, so I can't wait to see how engaging she is for all of our young readers.
You know, Mr. Collins, I got a lot of problems, but penguins ain't one. See what I did there?
All right, moving on.
All right, here we go. Next book, Miss Gentry. If you've had the opportunity to work with this wonderful intervention teacher, she's bringing to life the book, Those Shoes. It's a great book, guys. You've learned some really important things out of this text. I know many of you guys have eyed a pair of shoes every now and again, and when you get them, sometimes maybe you're not as appreciative as you should be. I'm not sure. As there's a very important story that we're going to learn in this text, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Those Shoes. And again, that is authored by Mary Beth Bolts.
All right, next up, we have the author of the Lemony Snicket series, Daniel Handler, and he's bringing to us a book called The Bad Mood and the Stick. I wonder what's going on here, Mr. Moore. I'm excited to read a little bit more about it. I'm wondering how the stick plays in to passing along the mood and how our moods can pass along to other people, and we can relate that to our own lives. Mr. Moore, I'm smelling some habits coming through with this book and how they're going to affect our school community. So I'm excited to see. And that book, again, is read by Miss Raker and written by Daniel Handler.
All right. One of our favorite readers coming in on the next text. Guys, why don't you give me a big round of applause for Mr. Allen? He does everything in this building. Cleans up vomit, makes sure the buses gets in safe, and everybody who's gotten sick this school year. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's there to clean it up, no questions asked. He's also there to help anybody else. There's a lot of Lions here that need a lot of help, and I'm just so touched that he's joined the fold this year with this. And he's got a book, no surprise, called Be Kind. You know, a book like that doesn't need any further explanation. The title says it all.
Absolutely, and I'm really interested to see how one friend can make the difference in the life of another friend and change not just their whole day, but maybe their whole life. All right, next up, we have an international flavor being offered here by an international superstar of a woman. In celebration of International Women's Day, actually, that just happened last week, we are going to bring to you Malala and the Magic Pencil. Malala's Magic Pencil, and this book was written by Malala, but read by a woman that lived in Alaska and taught her first couple years on an Indian reservation where the whole reservation was smaller than our school building. Did you know that? That's a fun fact. And her name is Laura Crawford. And so she's got an interesting story, and I'm really excited to see how she brings to life Malala's magical pencil.
All right, and rounding out the field, guys, this is the final text. Hundreds and hundreds of books could have been chosen. These are the 16, and we're getting ready to find out the last text. Here we go. Read by none other than Mr. Bennett. We have Clark the Shark. Let's give a round of applause for Clark the Shark. Clark the Shark. Clark the Shark. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. Clark the Shark. Man, what a way to round out the field. And what a collection of books. This is going to be one of the best things that we've ever done.
It's epic. It's truly epic. I'm so excited to see. Mr. Moore, who you got coming out of the West bracket?
Oh my goodness, Clark the Shark.
You gotta go with Clark the Shark. What do you guys think? Clark the Shark, who likes it? Alright guys, you got Clark. Mr. Moore's got Clark the Shark. I've got to go with Malala. My heart, and I hate to go against Mr. Bennett because he's my boy, but I gotta go with Malala's story. I love the reader's story. Miss Crawford coming from Alaska, making a difference here at Locust Grove and being something really special to our community. So I've gotta go with Malala's magical pencil. But readers, it's up to you to make the decision of who's gonna go to the Elite Eight, and then the Final Four, and of course, the big game, and finally be named the Book of the Year, 2019. Mr. Moore, you wanna take it away and wrap us up?
Absolutely. Locust Grove Lions, I'm not sure that you were able to pick this up by Mr. Collins and I reading these titles, but all of these books were selected for a very particular reason, and that is that they go with the theme of our school year, and that is starts with me. Looking at the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, all about making a change. One of the things that you're going to notice as you get to know all the characters in these books is that they're all about making a change. And that's number one, what we hope. And we think that through the pages of books that your all's lives can be changed, and we think the lives of others can be changed. I hope you have a great time with the book challenge. I hope that you're able to look at these books as they're read by some of the best readers that we have in Locust Grove. Share this with your families, and Lions, whatever you do, don't forget to vote. You guys, it's all up to you.
Let's get a Lion leaders to sign us out. Lion leaders!